Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Now today I'm going to be doing something I haven't done in such a long time. I'm going to be doing a wrap up for the month of March. I haven't done any of these so far because I haven't been really sticking to a set to be read. I mean, I guess I have in a way, but I feel like when I say to people what the to be reads are, sometimes I don't actually stick to them. Now, I can't remember the exact order I read these books. A lot of them were rereads in the month of March, but I'm going to go through now and tell you what I got around to reading and what I thought of them. A goal of mine this year was to read books that I actually own, and I've had these books for at least 2 years now. I read the first book mid to late last year and I loved it, but I for some reason just didn't get around to reading the second one. I read like the first few chapters and I just put it down and didn't pick it back up again. Well, that definitely changed in March when I picked up The Dream Thieves by Maggie Stavata, and I was like, you know what, I just want to finish the series. I've heard a lot of people like it. Like Bex herself is one of her favourite series. My cousin Sarah is one of her favourite series. She's like, just read it, you'll love it. I was like, okay. And that's exactly what happened. I read The Dream Thieves, Ronan. I'm like, beautiful Ronan, I love you so much. Fell in love with Ronan and fell back in love with these characters and this story. When I read the first one last year, I was a bit confused about what was going on. And I was so shook about, you know, the plot twist in that book that I think took away from the actual characters. But when I read this book, I just fell back in love with her, especially Ronan. Ronan is definitely #1 bae. It gave it sort of 5 out of 5. I loved it so much. And then I proceeded to finish the series with my girl Stephanie, bookish, which I'll link down below. We buddy read this. I read Blue Lily, Lily Blue, and The Raven King. I read these all in a week. I read all 3 of these in a week. I loved them. I smashed them out. I don't know which one's my favourite because I love Ronan. I think Blue Lily Blue is another top one. Like, it was just phenomenal. This whole series, I think it's definitely a new fave. And I think I love these characters the most out of maybe any characters. And that's big saying, you know, like obviously I love Harry and everyone, but I think with these characters and the multiple perspectives in these books, you just get to know them so intricately and fall in love with them all. I just love them all so much. I want to like cry just talking about it because it's just so good. So yeah, I gave this one a 5, of course. I think I gave this one a 4.75, 4.5, only because I felt for the final book in the series, the 4th book, that there were some unanswered questions. I know we are getting a series with just for Ronan, so I'm hoping that they are answered in that. But yeah, I gave this one a little bit lower only because I felt like there was a lot unanswered. Otherwise amazing. So yeah, not only did I read these for the first time in the month of March, I then decided we were finishing The Raven King, me and Steph, and we're like, should we reread it again, like right now? And I'm like, yes, let's reread it right now. When I love something, I can just reread it straight away, and especially like The Raven Boys, I hadn't read that one for like at least 6 months. I was like, I want to reread it from the beginning and like go back because I just love the characters and I just want to see them from the beginning. So I started my reread of the series, which I tabbed for the reread. So I chose to do it best in characters. Blue is Blue, of course, green is Gansey, orange is Ronan, and red is Adam. I think that this one, Adam and Gansey were my main tabs. I love them all. Ronan's my favourite, but I love them all. Anyway, so I did a reread of this, and then I started my reread of The Dream Thieves, and you can see where I got up to. I got about halfway through before the superhero-thon started, so I didn't want to, I could have probably got close to finishing The Dream Thieves, but I thought I want to leave some momentum for when I go back to the reread, because if I had finished The Dream Thieves, I would have immediately wanted to start Blue Lily Blue, and I'm like, I have to read the books I have on my to be read for the superhero-thon, which I'll be putting a vlog up very soon for that one, so stay tuned. If it's already out, I'll link it down below. But yeah, so I read the 3 books in this series, reread the first one, and got halfway through rereading the second one in March. Yeah, I think the only one for those that wasn't a 5 out of 5 was the 4th. Everything else I was just like, yes. Now, some other rereads I completed during the month of March was Love, Simon by Becky Albertelli. First read this book last month. I read it in mid-Feb. I fell in love with it. It's probably my top read for this whole year. and I wanted to reread it for the movie coming out because the movie came out here on the 29th. So I was like, I love it. Now I know like what happens. I want to go back and relive it all and see, you know, when different people are mentioned and rah rah. So I love my reread. It's still my top rated so far of this year. I've seen the movie 3 times. Love, Simon is such a good, relevant story, not only for the LGBT community, but for so many other issues. I would definitely recommend this. This is probably still going to be my top book of this year. It has definitely not changed, even with the Raven Boys. Definitely still my top read. Yeah, I gave this one a 5. I gave this one like a 20 million out of 5, but 5 out of 5. Another book that I reread in the month of March was The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. This is one of my all-time favourite books. You can't really see the shelf, but my all-time favourite books are up here. Love, Simon's up there. So is The Perks of Being a Wallflower. I first read this book in high school when I was 16 and maybe I was 17. And it's like one of my all-time faves. It's just like such a quick read. It's just, I don't know, it's just a beautiful story. It's heartbreaking, it's heartwarming. It's just, yeah. I can't even like talk about it. It's just, yeah. I just love it. It's just one of my favorite books. I can't even talk about this. That's the trouble. When I love something so much, I can never talk about it coherently. I would kind of maybe put this as an own voices book, I guess. I don't know what category this would fall under. It is a contemporary book, but it talks about some mental health issues and other, you know, issues. Definitely not a light read. If you're looking for something lighthearted, it's probably not for you. It is quite a, you know, it's quite a heavy book. It talks about a lot of things, but it is really beautiful and it's one of my favorite all-time books. Another book that I read in the month of March, which is my only, which was the lowest I think I've rated in a while actually, was, I'll leave it here because I read an ebook version, was Every Day by David Lederhan. Now, yeah, I gave this one a 3 out of 5. It's pretty low for me. Normally my average is like not even 4. It's like higher than a 4. It's at least a 4.5 to 5 normally my average ratings are. But yeah, this one unfortunately just didn't really do it for me. I like the premise of the story and I thought, you know, I thought it was good. I definitely got me hooked in the beginning, but the trouble with this book is I felt it was very repetitive and it kind of felt like it was all for nothing in the end, if I'm being honest. I won't say why, but yeah, I kind of just felt like it was building and building and I was like, oh yes, and then I was like, oh, is this really the ending? So yeah, I wasn't really a fan. Sorry if you like that book. I'm gonna definitely still watch the movie. That's one I read in preparation for the movie that comes out in April. I'm hoping the movie is better, maybe. It depends if I stick to the ending of the book. But yeah, I just kind of felt like it was all for nothing in a way. Like, I hated the ending, let's be honest. I would have liked the book if it had a different ending. That's all I'll say. Some other books that I finished in March in preparation, and some of these for a part of, well, this last one, for the part of the superhero-thon, was The Witch Doesn't Burn in This One by Amanda Lovelace. Now, if you've seen my poetry favourites video, which I'll link down below, you know that I loved her first book, The Princess Saves Herself in this one, and I pre-ordered this book which came out, I think it came out this month in March. I was so eager to read this. She definitely did not disappoint. I love the girl power and the messages that come through in this book. I tabbed, let's see which ones I tabbed. I might read one out to you. Yes, let's read out the 2 ones I tabbed because they're just so fucking good. Boys will be boys until the day we raise our sons to practice the exact same responsibility, accountability and maturity we assign to our daughters before choosing their names. You don't teach, they don't learn. So good. And then the other one I tabbed, I mean I love so many more, but I just tabbed these 2. I love this one. I posted this on my personal Instagram. No matter what they tell you, it is not your job to be polite to anyone who is not polite to you first. Get up, you're nobody's doormat. Yes! I just love the poems in this. I mean, I think they're very relevant. She talks about many issues, very serious issues. Again, I probably put a trigger warning for both Perks and This one, I think this one actually does have a trigger warning at the beginning anyway, but yeah, they're very heavy but very relevant, very important. I think I would definitely recommend Love, Simon Perks and her 2 books to anyone. I think they're very important to read, as well as this next one, which I read as part of the superhero-thon, which I will be putting in my vlog anyway for that, but I thought I'd add it in here because I didn't read it in March, was We Should All Be Feminists by, I'm not even going to try to say her name. It's just not going to happen. Like, it's just not. But I didn't get to tab this because I didn't have any tabs, but look how many, I don't know if you can see how many I actually dog-eared, because I was just like, yes, this was a very powerful read. Again, something I think all of us should read. I'll read the back to you because, I mean, I tagged so many things that are important, but I think the back of this book just summarizes the type of book it is, and it's just the message from the whole book that I think is very important. It says, I would like to ask that we begin to dream about and plan for a different world, a fairer world, a world of happier men and happier women who are truer to themselves. And this is how to start. We must raise our daughters differently. We must also raise our sons differently. This one I read on the plane to see Erina, and it was just like, I got goosebumps reading it. It packs a definite punch. I think it's so important for this day and age. Whenever I give a book a 5 out of 5, if it moves me, if I get goosebumps, if I feel really passionate about it, I give it a 5 out of 5. I've tried to be a bit more critical this year, but yeah. For the end of March and the beginning of April, I finished Stephen King's It. Gave this one a 5 out of 5 myself as well, but this will be included in my superhero-thon and probably my wrap-up for April, which I'll be doing a spoilery review on this one because I've voted on Bookstagram and people want it, so that'll be up soon. Let me know what you read in March. What was your favourite book of March? Have you read any of the books that I read? What are your thoughts on these books? Let me know. And thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a great day. If you like this, like down below, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Now, I don't think I've been doing and I'm about to. Okay. Boys will be I would like to ask that we begin to dream about a plan.